Hello, hello, Facebook. Hi, everyone. Coming to you with a late night chit chat. Just wait a couple moments to see who is going to hop on and join us this evening. Happy Monday to everyone. Hope it was a great day for you. And the week is off to a phenomenal start. Oh. Let's see here. Okay. Hello, hello. Just stopping by with a quick word this evening. Trying to share on my page. And I won't keep you guys too long. I see Mr. Penn joined us and a couple others will come on. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about brokenness being a blessing. And as I thought about a title for what I wanted to share this evening, I thought about what my experiences were and how brokenness can sometimes seem so completely devastating, but then it can be perceived as a blessing. So as I come to you late this evening, I wanted to still show up. I've had some things happen, but just want to chat with you for a little bit. So several months ago, I fell and broke my leg, and that's actually the first time I broke anything and wasn't prepared for what was to come. It was very, very painful, difficult process, and it was truly a day-to-day experience of what's my new normal and how do I adapt and adjust to what's happening now in my life, and how do I deal with, one, the pain, and two, the things that I'm not able to do anymore, and make those adjustments. And my age really really revealed itself, because while I feel pretty good, the healing process was way longer than I thought it should be. But then again, I broke in two places, and it was a real serious break. And I had to learn to be patient with myself. A really, really good dear friend, someone very special and close to me, said, you know, I think this happens because God is trying to slow you down. And I received that. I accepted that. In many ways, I needed to slow down. I was doing a lot of traveling. I was engaged in many things and had a whole long list of things I wanted to do. And everything came to a halt. It just stopped. And I was going out of my mind because laying in the bed and just recovering was not my speed. And I didn't know what to do with that. Like, really, what am I supposed to do here? And so I found ways to continue to adjust and adapt, and still got things going. But as I think about my journey, and I am so far along, I mean, I'm great now. I'm still not where I was with my pre-injury level of functioning, but I can walk again. I'm so grateful. I can't run yet, but I can walk again without a lot of challenge. Still can't wear my high heel shoes yet, and that's a problem, but I'm working on it. I'm just dealing with life as it comes, and accepting it for what it is. So as I thought about my process, and I thought about being broken, and all the other parts of my life that felt broken as a result of a broken leg, I thought, wow, I know that so many people have brokenness in their lives and can relate to this in one way or another. And whether it's a physical break of some bone of some kind that needs healing, or whether it's a spiritual brokenness, or maybe it's relational, maybe it's emotional. There are so many parts of who we are that fall in that fragile realm. And we as human beings are wonderfully made. We're just designed by the Creator to be these incredible things to wonder at. And you know, when we look at the whole process of birthing and new life and all that comes with it, we realize how special but how fragile life is at the same time. And often when we experience different kinds of brokenness, if we're not open to receiving the interventions, the help that we need, then the process is even longer, and the healing might not happen as it needs to. I know that if I didn't go to seek medical intervention, my healing process would not have gone as smoothly as it did, even though it took forever. But I might not have been able to be as functional as I am right now. And same thing with our emotional brokenness. When we keep it to ourselves and we think that we can heal ourselves without any help, that might not be true. That might not always be the path you want to embark upon, because we often need some additional supports and some help. And I learned that while I was laying flat on my back and couldn't do a whole lot other than hop around whenever I could, that there are complications that can arise out of your brokenness. And my complication was I developed a blood clot. And I learned to trust God on a whole nother level. It was very scary and difficult and uncertain for me at times. I kept hearing about people who were dying because of blood clots, and I know the risk that was associated with it. And I thought about life applications as well. When we are broken in our spirit, when our relationships are broken, when we have this jaded outlook on life, and the brokenness that we now experience might have come from things that affected us a decade ago, you know, a very long time, or maybe within recent times, and we don't address it properly, or even if we do, know that there are complications that might come out of it. And those complications might be the lack of trust that emerges in your life, or not really being able to fully embrace yourself or the gifts and talents that God has given you, or, you know, just really being able to embrace the brokenness as a blessing, as a gift, as something that works as a catalyst for change in your life, something that's important for you to take inventory of what's going on in your life. And sometimes you might think that what's happening isn't a result of something that you caused directly, or it could very well be something you did cause. But there are lessons within life's experiences, and we ought to be open to understanding what those lessons are. I know one lesson is that I had to be patient. I had to be patient with the process. And I consider myself a very patient person with some things in life. But when it came to embracing the fact that now things were slower for me and I couldn't do the things that I planned out, my agenda was full, and I had to step back a bit and be patient with the process of healing, because in that healing, I discovered some things about myself that I needed to. And I learned to trust God on a whole nother level, because he and I had some serious conversations. I was like, look, listen, God, I am wrestling with you right now as if my life depends on it, because it does. I need to be here. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Not sure what your plans are for me, but I am not ready to go anywhere yet. My children need me. There's a work that I have yet to do that I haven't done. I've got to answer to you, and I haven't done some things you wanted me to do. So, God, me and you here, we need to work this out. You know, take care of this blood clot, because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. And, you know, it's having those very real conversations with God. It's realizing that if things don't interrupt your life as you have outlaid and designed your life, which might not always be in accordance with God's will or the best path for you, then you could be going down a road that leads further into destruction, leads further into despair, where there's greater pain and brokenness waiting for you. And when we think about this whole notion of being broken, or part of us being broken, the whole becomes affected. I know, my leg was broken, but my hip was bothering me, and there are other parts of my body that just felt completely affected because of that injury. When we think about the body of our family being a body, composed of all the different parts, members that are critical to make it function well. When one part is affected, all parts are affected. When the body of Christ, or the church, or whatever, our community, when that's affected by something that's so extremely unbelievable, something pretty major and devastating, we all are affected, because we all belong in this body, this community of learners, or community of believers, or community of people who are striving for success, whether it's an entrepreneurial life or a spiritual life, whatever it is. And wherever those overlaps happen, we feel it, we sense it. There are people who were affected because of my injury. My children were affected as a result. So we're all connected and interconnected, and all the things that happen to us eventually touch those around us. But the healing process also does the same thing. The healing process allows us to touch others, to share those stories of how we overcome, those stories of, yes, life is full of challenges, but life is also full of joy and happiness, and life is full of blessings. And often, if we aren't careful, we miss the blessings in being broken. But when we're open and we're careful and we see it and we share those stories, guess what happens? Everybody gets affected in a way that says, you know what? Yes, I'm struggling too. I'm putting duct tape on my personal pain. I'm covering up with concealer all the bitterness in my life, all the challenges in my life. I am not being connected to other people because I got my own stuff to deal with, my own pain, and I really don't even want to deal with yours. And so we lose that sense of community and supporting and encouraging each other. But when the healing process begins and we share with another wounded soul, and sometimes it's not a complete break, sometimes there is some fracturing that happens. And, that fracture might come from abuse early on in our lives. And some people suffer some real horrible early life experiences, whether it's physical abuse or sexual abuse or emotional, whatever it is, financial abuse, whatever it is, it impacts us, it affects us if we don't get healing from those situations. And again, it takes time. We got to be patient with the process and be patient with ourselves. And the joy, the blessing is in sharing with others. One, that we realize that the Creator who made us, wonderfully put us together, can make us over again, can recreate us, can help us to heal, and those broken parts of our lives just get smooth all over again, and we begin to be seamless, and we function in a manner that doesn't even represent the brokenness we experienced. But when we share with others what happens, then they too feel empowered. They're like, oh my gosh, maybe my healing is coming. Maybe I'll be whole again. When you experience the loss of someone who is so precious to you, and you wonder, Lord, will I ever get past this? Will this pain ever go away? Will I ever feel whole again? And you allow yourself time to connect with God and to lean on His Word, and His Word comes alive in your life, and you show that to others, that's where the blessing is. That's where all the things that once felt like your life was completely falling apart, in the twinkling of an eye, feels better, feels greater, because now you're an overcomer. That's where you discover your strength. The pain, the brokenness is just a catalyst for you to dig deeper into your core, into your spirit, into who you are, to really reveal the true you, your level of resiliency, your level of comebackness, you know, how quickly and how efficiently can you bounce back and tell those stories so that others can be inspired and encouraged that yes, life happens to all of us, and sometimes it's worse for some than others, but there is this human frailty that we all have. And you know, it helps us to cherish. It helps us to cherish life a whole lot more. It helps us to cherish the loved ones in our lives on a whole nother level. And so I want to encourage you tonight that whatever you're going through, whatever your brokenness is, whatever your fractured spirit is all about, know that there is healing. Know that you can search for the ultimate source of healing and really get in relationship with him, get in communion with him, and lay it all out. And state what you want. Do what I did. Wrestle if you have to. And just realize that if you believe, if you trust, if you surrender, and that's a big one. I'll talk about that on another live at another time. But if you surrender, you've got to surrender it all. We hold on to things. We're going to fix it. We're going to do this. We're going to make things the way we need them to be. Just let it go and surrender. Now, that doesn't mean that we're complacent, and it surely doesn't mean that we're going to accept anything. But we're going to use the power within us. We're going to use the gifts and talents bestowed upon us. We're going to pull into our lives the greatness from the Creator. And then when there are things that's beyond our control, we let it go and stand and keep on pushing and praying and keep on moving forward. Otherwise, the brokenness will prevail. So tonight, whatever you're experiencing, if it's something that keeps you awake at night and you can't sleep, if it's something that keeps you in the bed and you're not able to get out of the bed, if it's something that, you just really have a dark, dim outlook on life, and you need to get some sunshine in your life, there's healing, there is power, there is strength just waiting to come into your life. But sometimes it requires you doing things differently. So take inventory of your life. What are you doing that you shouldn't be doing? Where are you going that you shouldn't be going? Who are you engaged with that you know full well you need to leave them alone? Whatever it is, what decisions are you making that continue to pull you into the brokenness that you're trying to heal from? You've got to make the changes that's necessary to move your life forward. I just wanted to pause and linger a little bit with you tonight and let you know that when life comes at you unexpectedly and you're fractured or you're broken and you feel despair, don't suffer alone or in silence. Find others, because pain and human suffering is something we all share. And if we would but spend a few moments and encourage each other with our stories of being overcomers, we will have such an incredible impact in the world that we'll see healing happen in our homes, in our community, around the world. Okay, so have an amazing night. Be sure to share this video if you found value in it. And I look forward to talking with you guys real soon again. Blessings to you all, and begin the healing process.